Here we go, round two between J.H. Rose and D.H. Conley, this time from Guy Smith Stadium. It's another top-ranked matchup between the two to end the regular season and to cap off conference play. Hello, everyone. My name is Cole Martin. Alongside me is Isaac Congleton for the evening. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us. Well, the first time around, Isaac, I don't know if you were at that matchup, that one at the Crossroads, but
Yes,
the Vikings took that matchup 9-5.
that's right.
It was a slow start, just a slight slow start for the Vikings offense. But eventually they would get things going. A couple of home runs in the fourth and then one in the fifth. Saw in that first inning, Ethan Stewart with the two-run blast out to right field. And then, of course, the big time home runs from Brody Brandon. That was a three-run home run. And then the solo blast off the bat of Colton Newbern, which honestly cleared the trees and might have cleared the parking lot with how far that ball went.
Definitely.
Well, on the mound tonight for the Rampants, it'll be Josh Robertson, who we expected to pitch tonight. He was the one that gave up that Colton Newbern home run in the first matchup. Give you some of his stats this year. So far, a 1.91 ERA, 2-1 through 10 appearances for the NCA&T commit. 22 innings and 30 Ks for him, only giving up 6 runs off of 9 hits. Round one was very enjoyable. Some back and forth before the Vikings pulled away. We'll see how this matchup goes. Of course, a little bit on the line for the Rampants tonight. With a win and a South Central loss against New Bern, they would get second in the conference. Of course, D.H. Conley has already claimed the conference outright at 9-0, looking to make it a perfect 10-0 in conference play. But J.H. Rose sitting at 5-3, looking to make it 6-3 in conference play. Well,
Pretty
we're
packed out here at Guy Smith.
absolutely.
For some reason, it seems that all the other games around Pitt County were canceled for weather, but it
Yes,
looks
I,
pretty nice out here today. So
I, I did see a couple of AG guys, Aiden Griffin guys, coming down here, and I was a little surprised to see that myself. But about to get started, get underway here from Guy Smith. Josh Robertson will face Brooke Niddle to start the ball game and fire it in there for strike number one. The one is lifted out into left center field. Joyner Haddock ranged to his right, but it's Parker Simo ultimately making the grab for out number one. So now here is Brody Brandon. We have really seen the batting average jump up as well as the OPS over the past couple weeks, down around in the mid 200s with his batting average. He's
strong
jumped
start
all the
here.
way up to a 348 batting average. A couple of home runs for him in that span, one against Rose, once against South Central. That OPS up to a 942. 0-1 will find the knee, catch the knees for a strike. 0-2 is grounded over to first to Shooter Howard, and it'll be 3 unassisted for the second out. It's tough getting in that 0-2 hole and then seeing that fastball on the outside edge. Only so much he could do with that pitch, trying to go the other way. Rolled over just a little too much. So here's Ethan Stewart. Has jumped around in the class of 2028 national rankings, sitting what I believe is close to top 10 in the nation when it comes to his class. Playing right field today as he has the whole season. 1-0 is lifted the other way on a line to Hastings over there at shortstop for out number 3. 1-2-3 first inning for Josh Robertson. We'll see the Campbell commit. Connor Berry on the mound after this. Welcome back, home half of the first inning here at Guy Smith Stadium. Get our first look at Connor Berry on the mound today. Came in relief of Tucker Anderson in the first matchup, closed the game out, gave up 3 runs, but was really good in the last couple of innings against the Rampants. One 0 is inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Brady Hastings leading off today for the Rampants this year as a junior, batting 328, 22 hits, 11 RBIs, 8 doubles, and 2 home runs. 2-0 is grounded straight back up the middle. Dive by Harrison Corey, but it gets past his outstretched glove into center field. The leadoff base knock for Brady Hastings.
Connor Berry just missed that one.
That was a really good effort by Harrison Corey out there. Kind of a Superman-like dive at second base. Just got past his glove, and it almost seemed like, Isaac, I don't know if you noticed too, but the ball started towards the mound, but kind of curved towards Harrison Corey at second.
Yeah, that was tricky.
So now Connor Berry pitching from the stretch early on in this game. That will be off the plate, facing Joyner Haddock now. Joyner Haddock leads the team in OPS with a 1.081 OPS. He's only been struck out 6 times this year. 1-0 is grounded foul, just foul down the first base line. Joyner Haddock with 2 home runs, both in the same game, coming a couple weeks ago. One thing that I've really noticed with this team, Isaac, especially when it comes to JH Rose, is when it comes to their offense, they are very good with the base hits. Of course, we saw it with Brady Hastings right there. They don't have a whole lot of pop at the plate. They make the base hits count. That one's chopped over the head of Willoughby at first. No play. There goes Hastings. He's on his way to third. No one's covering the bag at second, but Joyner Haddock would not move up. Back-to-back base knocks for the Rampants. There's a bit of a mistake there by Hayden Willoughby to be cheating in like that. Ball went over his head at first.
Quick start for the Rampants.
Back-to-back base hits for the Rampants. Already runners on the corners. And no outs in the inning. And here's Josh Robertson, the man on the mound today. Breaking ball will find the zone. This year, batting wise, however, batting 383, leads the team in batting average. One 0 is off the plate. Seemed like Robertson wanted to go at that pitch for a second, but held back. Joyner Haddock leading away over there at first. He's got 11 stolen bases this season. That one's in there for a strike. One ball and 2 strikes is the count. See if Haddock goes over there. He'll stay. That one's grounded to Rook Niddle at shortstop. The flip over to
Double
Corey, and then the
play.
throw over to Hayden Willoughby is in time for the double play, but the run does score. But 2 outs now on the inning. So the run comes across the score, but the twin killing there, it's going to make double play number 21 on the season for the Vikings defense. And the first pitch to Heath Ablatifa is in there for a strike. Quick 1-0 lead for the Rampants here in the bottom half of the first, and that's just what they do is those base hits. However they can get the runners to come across, don't necessarily hit anything gap to gap per se. Of course, those two base hits to lead off the inning, and then the double play there to score the run. Quick 0-2 count. Tal Latifa drops in the breaking ball for strike three and gets the third out of the inning. A good response there after giving up the run. Rapids up 1-0. We'll head to the second. One 0 is the score after one inning of play here in the crosstown rivalry between DH Conley and JH Rose. Conley coming in as the #1 team in the state. Have stayed that way throughout the whole season and coming in 26th nationally. JH Rose, on the other hand, have been fluctuating in the teens recently, sitting at number 13 at the current moment. A win here today would definitely boost the RPI for them, as I believe they're the projected 1 or 2 seed in the East for 6A playoffs. Colton Newbern at the plate. He is up 2-1 in this count. He's the East Carolina commit. Went 0 for 4 on Tuesday versus Jacksonville. A little uncharacteristic from him. Sitting with that 1.194 OPS. Batting average in the high 300s. That one's in there for a strike. Two on the outside corner. Got him looking. What a pitch there from Josh Robertson. Locates that on the outer edge of the plate for strike three.
So far, the Vikings having a hard time hitting Josh today. Let's see if they can turn it around here.
Peter Willoughby at the plate now, playing first base again today. Oh, look at strike one. We've seen him jump around the order a little bit so far this season, batting in the 5 spot today. Past couple of games, we've seen him around the 7-8 spot. Well, check swing of that one, foul that one back. It's 0-2. 0-2 on the outside corner. Man, Ablatifa thought it was strike three. He was up with it, about to throw it around the horn.
He was ready.
And instead is 1 ball and 2 strikes. See if he goes back to the well with the fastball. He will not. He'll hit him in the back.
Hits
Second straight game for Hayden Willoughby getting hit by a pitch. Got drilled in the ribs on Tuesday. And he'll draw the 1-out base runner. Now Hunter Layton at the dish, batting sixth. Inside. Hunter Layton batting 303. We've seen him sit around that 300 mark consistently throughout the season. Seen it jump up some. Seen it in the high 200s, about 290. But as of late, sitting at about 300, 310. We'll see if Willoughby uses his speed during this at bat. Next pitch is low for ball two. Hayden Willoughby with 7 stolen bases this season. We'll see if head coach Jason Mills sends him. 2-0. That one's in there for a strike. 2-1 is chopped foul. It's now 2-2. One away in the inning, runner on first. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Layton. That one skipped in the dirt. There goes Willoughby. That actually hit him. So Hunter Layton will take his base. 2 runners on now with 1 away.
That's 2 now where Josh just had 2 strikes on him and hit him. Very unlucky.
A little uncharacteristic. You see that where you see a ball get spiked into the ground and it hits a player. I'm not sure if maybe the way he threw it, he got injured, or if there's something with the mound. I'm not sure. Okay, there it is. So Rosenbag was the issue. So now Ryan Edwards at the plate, batting seventh today. Had a couple of really good defensive efforts on Tuesday. Made the throw all the way from the left field wall. Almost cut down Vasco Sutton at second base. But Sutton slid in there just in enough time for the double. Now we will see a meeting between Robertson and Avalatifa. Ryan Edwards batting 237 today with 9 hits through 55 plate appearances. Also has some appearances out there on the mound, sitting in the mid to high 80s with his fastball. Got a lot of swing and misses from what I saw in one of his outings. Low is in there for a strike. One cut on and missed. One ball and 2 strikes is the count to Ryan Edwards. He'll lift that one up, foul, and that one's going to go out of play.
Heads up.
Isaac, I'm not sure where you parked. I made sure I parked a little ways
Yeah.
away from the field.
I parked pretty far, so hopefully I didn't hit mine.
I saw a ball at the Newbern game last week it skipped on the ground but hit a car just below the window, the passenger side window, and dented the car right then and there.
Ah,
So I did not want to take any chances. Here's the 1-2. That one's chopped on the ground to Ablatif at third. He'll make the throw over to second. No throw down to first. So now runners on the corners with two away. Landon Scott, now the batter, had one plate appearance on Tuesday. Tucker Pridgeon in that starting role on senior night went over 2 with two strikeouts, but then Landon Scott had a slow dribbler to shortstop where he reached on the infield single where he would eventually be picked off at first base.
we may see them go for a double steal here. They've tried it multiple games.
We did see that on Tuesday. I'm glad you pointed that out,
Yeah.
Isaac, because it did work once, where the double steal did work. I don't know if they'll go with it in this instance with two away. It seemed like Edwards was about to go, but held off. Yeah, if it wasn't two outs already in the inning, I would,
Yeah.
but with two away in the inning, I'm not sure if I would try it. Willoughby has some speed over there at third. Ryan Edwards does as well at first. That one's grounded right back
Oh,
up the middle. The effort
man,
by
he's
Evans
screwed.
is not there. And the run will come across the score. A really good effort from Evans to try and make the play. Just couldn't quite come up with it. I mean, that was laced perfectly down the middle. And the Vikings are on the board.
Looked like that one went right through his legs. Very unfortunate.
So now the recent UNC commit Harrison Corey at the dish does hit the ball well, but of course known for his arm. We might see him tonight, depending on how long Connor Berry goes. First pitch is on the outside corner of the plate for a strike. This season, Harrison Corey batting .354. Another good element to his game is his running ability. He has 9 stolen bases this season. You know, it's in the dirt, so even with a slow roller to maybe the left side, could possibly have an infield single with him and keep the inning going and turn the order back over to the top. 1-1 lifted straight up in the air. That's going to go into foul ground. Stuart Howard's ranging over. So is Ablatifa, and
Ah,
Howard can't quite make the grab.
almost went to the dugout.
And that was a good job by the Conley dugout, kind of holding their line right there. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the clips
Yeah.
online of
Seen him.
the dugout holding the line, making sure there's no space for the fielder to make the grab. So we'll do it again. 1-2 strikes is still the count. Runners on first and second with two away. Landon Scott on first base and Ryan Edwards at second. 1-2. That one's outside in the dirt. There goes Edwards. And what a throw by Ablatifa. The tag is not applied. Now it is. And Ryan Edwards is out trying to move from second to third on the pitch in the dirt. What a throw there by Ablatifa to get him on the move to third. But the Vikes strike and tie the game at one apiece. We'll head to the bottom half of the second inning. Welcome back. Connor Berry will go back to work here in the second. Gave up 1 run off of 2 hits in the first inning. We'll see how he fares against 5, 6, and 7 of the Rampants lineup. One is up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Does not get the opportunity to read off some of his stats from this year, Barry. That 1.21 ERA, the best as a starter for this Viking staff so far. Perfect 5-0 through 10 appearances. 1-1 breaking ball just off the play. They say that Howard did not go around. 4 of those appearances were starts for Connor Berry. A couple of those were in relief appearances for Tucker Anderson. 2-1 will find the zone at the knees. 2-2. 2-2 is fouled off. Will stay the same. Connor Berry's last outing came last Thursday at New Bern in that Mercy Rule win over the Bears. Jason Mills held Berry to just 3 innings in that game.
First call strike outside of the plate.
One away. Here's Corbin Kidrick. Down 0-1 in this count. Wave at that one. It's 0-2 fast. No wave at that one for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Connor Berry. Actually make it back-to-back, continuing on from the last inning.
Quick 2 down for Connor Berry here.
So here's the catcher, Laith Avalatifa. This year as a sophomore, batting .229. He'll foul that one down the third base line. One waved at. Saw a couple of struggles from Connor Berry in the first inning. Gave up a couple of quick hits, but has really settled in here in the second inning so far. Here's the 0-2. Got him looking,
Wow.
strike 3. Connor Berry strikes out the side to make it 4 strikeouts on his outing through 2 innings. Scores 1-1. We'll head to the third right here from Guy Smith. Well, a 1-2-3 strikeout side inning for Connor Berry there in the second. We'll see if the offense can follow it up. And
That
there's
is
a base
smoke.
hit ripped into left field there by Harrison Corey, who couldn't finish his at bat in the second inning, but gets it going with a base hit here in the third. So now the lineup turns over for the Vikings with one on and no outs. Rignittle had that fly out to left field. He'll look at strike one. We'll see if the contact starts to pick up more second time through the order. We saw that in the first matchup between the Vikings and the Rampants. Of course, the Ethan Stewart home run is nothing to be overlooked at in the first inning of that game, but then an offensive explosion in the fourth and fifth innings for the Vikings. 0-1 will get past the glove of Ablatifa, and Harrison Corey will take second. That pitch was up and away, and Ablatifa couldn't quite get a hand on it. 1-1 will show bunt. That's in there for a strike. I'll be curious to see if they try the small ball approach with no outs and a runner in scoring position. However, with two strikes in the count, I doubt they'll try that. 1-2. That one's fouled back into the netting. And I'm very glad that we don't have the camera set up there because that was such a pain on Tuesday having to constantly adjust it, Isaac. And shout out to you for always adjusting it for me while me and Josh were talking. I definitely appreciate it. Here's another 1-2. On the outside
Ooh.
corner, just missed.
Hey, also quick shout out to Josh Rochester.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm definitely not doing as good as he would do, but shout out to that guy.
2-2. He'll leave
Mm,
that one inside.
fans are not happy over that one.
That was a very close pitch. I thought it was going to be strike three, and Rignittle was about to take a hack at it, but held back, and the count runs full. Here's the payoff. That one's lifted out into center field. Haddock will stay about where he's at. Here's Corey. Thought about tagging up for a second, but will retreat back to the second base bag. Rignittle now 0 for 2 with two flyouts in this game. Here's Brody Brandon, his first time up, grounded out to third base on that three unassisted play. There goes Harrison Corey. He's running before the pitch was even thrown. And he's down there to third with ease. Seemed like he was already starting to take off. Robertson had no idea that he was going. Make it 10 stolen bases on the season now for Harrison Corey. Corner's playing in now, and that one's fouled straight back. We've really seen the speed big time on the base paths this season for the Vikings. 64 out of 71 is the stolen base number. 64 stolen bases on 71 attempts, that is. And the 1-1 will hit Brody Brandon. That breaking ball started way too inside. And so there are now runners on the corners, and Ethan Stewart is at the plate.
That's his third hitter he's hit. Might see a mound rush soon, maybe.
Mound rush.
That would be bad, but What's it
It's
called?
a mound visit.
No, I
Close
mean
enough.
like they rush them out because they're mad and stand
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, okay, okay. I thought you were talking about a mound visit. I was like, I don't think that's what it's called, a mound rush. I see what you're talking about. Saw some things getting chippy in the JV game between both dugouts. Nothing, to my knowledge, happened in the first meeting between both varsity squads, but with bragging rights on the line, I wouldn't be surprised if tensions got a little high in this game.
Definitely.
0-1 is the count to Ethan Stewart. Runners on the corners with one away. Ethan Stewart, his first time up, had that soft liner out to shortstop to Brady Hastings to end the first inning. That one's chopped foul. Ethan Stewart's line on Tuesday against Jacksonville was a little funny. Went 1 for 1 with an RBI base hit, but was walked, and also intentionally walked. He's down 0-2 in this count. He'll leave that one inside, but it catches the zone for strike
Wow.
three. Got him looking. I don't think Ethan Stewart was happy with the call there, but a strikeout looking for Josh Robertson, and now there are 2 outs. We'll see a mound meeting, and we will take a quick pause right here on DHC Game Day. Mound visit is done. We will see what the approach is here from Josh Robertson. Of course, in the first meeting between the two teams, Colton Newbern took Josh Robertson deep into left center field. They cleared the trees at the crossroads. He's got 2 runners on with 2 away. There goes Brody Brandon. They're trying to double steal. That was
There
something that we were
was.
talking
Yeah.
about earlier. Brody Brandon hesitated in between first and second base. No throw down. It's now just a base hit would score both runners, hypothetically. 0-1 is the count. I'll leave that one low. It'll be 1-1. 1-1 in the dirt. Good block there by Ablatifa behind the plate.
Oh wow.
And they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk him with a 2-1 count. That's something that you don't see every
Huh.
day. So Jacob Stilley will go run for his man, Colton Newbern. That was a very wonky situation there, Isaac.
Yeah. Bases loaded situation. Let's see what they can do.
And with just how dangerous this Conley lineup is, you can't afford to walk the bases loaded like that.
Yeah.
Hayden Willoughby at the plate. Got hit in the back his first time up. This year has a 1036 OPS, batting 361. Only struck out 3 times. A wave at that one,
Ooh.
0-2 now. Good breaking ball there from Robertson.
Big swing.
That was a home run hack right there. Of course, Willoughby has already hit a home run at this field against Cedar Ridge. That was a 3-run blast over the left center field wall. We'll see if he can do it again. 0-2 is off the plate. High leverage at bat. Whatever happens here, the momentum will swing to a certain team. Base hit will definitely swing the momentum to Conley, but a strikeout or an out will swing the momentum to Rose, straining 3 runners. And he'll leave that one, but it's in the
Wow.
zone for strike 3. Got him looking to end the inning. Josh Robertson strands 3 Vikings runners, and we remain tied at 1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 3rd. Luke Tyndall at the plate now for the Rampants. 8-9-1 is how the lineup goes in the 3rd. And they'll look at strike 1. Luke Tyndall had a bit of an interesting game in the first matchup. Had that ball that just got off his glove and carried over the wall for Ethan Stewart for the home run. Then had a really
Mm.
good piece of hitting with the double,
Yeah.
which scored a run. But then the drop ball in right field as well later on in the game. He's already down 0-2 in this count. Got him swinging.
Wow. That was really good.
5 straight strikeouts for Connor Berry.
Connor Berry is putting on a show. Man. 9 consecutive strikes.
That one's lifted straight up in the air.
Daily
That's
reflector.
foul. It'll stay in play. Landon Scott will make the grab. 4 pitches and 2 outs
Wow.
for Connor Berry between the 8 and 9 spots in the lineup. But now the lineup turns over to Brady Hastings.
Seems like Connor has gotten into a groove. What do you think?
I definitely think he has. We'll see if that groove kind of carries over here with the top of the lineup. Of course, Hastings and Joyner Haddock both had those base hits to lead off the first.
Yeah.
Saw a bunt attempt there, went foul back to the backstop. So one just low, 1 ball and 1 strike. One outside. So a hitter's count for Brady Hastings. To one, and crushes that into
Oh.
right field. And Ethan Stewart's going to watch that one fly. Connor Berry left that pitch in a very hittable spot for Brady Hastings, and he teed off on that one to send that one over the right field wall. It is now 2-1 in favor of the Rampants.
That's definitely one way to mess up his pitcher's streak.
We were just talking about, will Connor Berry continue with that groove through the top of the lineup? It was down 2-1 in that count. Left the fastball right over the center of the plate. The one is outside. Already a 2-hit ball game for Brady Hastings through 2 at-bats. Now here's Joyner Haddock. Had that base hit that chopped over the head of Hayden Willoughby over there at first base. 1-1 in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. And another thing that I was mentioning too earlier was how we don't see a whole lot of pop from the Rampants lineup. A lot more base hits you'll find throughout the order, but Brady Hastings with the solo shot there, that's his 3rd home run of the season. And the 2-1 will find the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two is chopped on the ground. That's going to go just foul. Well, it was a quick 2 outs for Connor Berry to start the 3rd inning. Gave up the solo blast. It's 2-2, 2-2 to Joyner Haddock. That one's just low and inside. So a full count. Connor Berry would not like to put him on base with Josh Robertson up on deck. The payoff is well inside. So a 2-out walk for Joyner Haddock. In this spot, you just got to put the home run ball away. Just forget it even happened. Of course, you do have a runner on first. You have to be aware of that. And a top hitter at the plate. That one's chopped foul. Josh Robertson grounded into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up, but scored the runner. That was the first run of the ball game. Barry will take a look over there at Haddock. That was a very close play. We'll say he's back in there safe. Joyner Haddock with 11 stolen bases. He'll stay on this next pitch. 0-1 is just inside. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh,
He
got him. Picked him off.
Wow.
Haddock was just about to run, and Connor Berry took a check over and got him in just enough time for out number 3. Well, Connor Berry started off the inning right with a strikeout and then a pop out, but gave up a solo shot to right field off the bat of Brady Hastings. It's 2-1, Rose after 3. Welcome back. Fourth inning about to get underway. Cole Martin and Isaac Congleton here with you this evening. Beautiful evening from Guy Smith Stadium. Big time rivalry matchup between the Vikes and the Rampants. Hunter Layton at the plate. Vikings will go 6, 7, and 8 in this inning. Hunter Layton, his first time up, got hit by a pitch that was spiked in the dirt, but made its way to Layton. 1-1. Started to square to bunt. It was inside for ball 2. Connor Berry gave up a solo blast off the bat of Brady Hastings in the last inning. We'll see maybe if the Vikings can get some offense going for them in this inning in a response. 2-1 is grounded to Evans. That's going to be a tough play. He boots it and gets him just in enough time.
Very close play.
Good recovery there by Carter Evans at second base. That was going to be a tough play with where the ball was hit, as Carter Evans was shaded more towards the second base bag. And the ball was somewhat hit into the gap between first and second base. But it's out number 1, and here's Ryan Edwards. Ryan Edwards, his first time up, reached on the force out, but was eventually caught stealing. 1-1 lifted back and out of play. That play where he was caught stealing, that was down to third base. Really good throw there by Laith Abalatifa from behind the plate, or that would ultimately end the inning. 1-2. Oh, almost got him looking. That one was just off the plate. Seemed pretty good from up here, but it'll be 2-2. 2-2 is up high, and the count runs full. Here's the payoff. Fastball chopped on the ground to Hastings at shortstop. Edwards is digging close play, but he's out. Really good hustle play there by Ryan Edwards. Couldn't quite beat out the throw by Brady Hastings at shortstop. Here's Landon Scott, had the RBI base hit in the second inning. Just a ground ball right back up the middle that Carter Evans almost got to. That one's laced down the first baseline. That's
And
a
it's
fair
fair.
ball. He will be held up at first. That one didn't quite get down into the corner far enough for the first base coach, Trevor Spencer's liking. And so Landon Scott will be held up at first with a 2-out single. We've
The
seen
more
Landon Scott.
ducks in the ponds, the better.
There you go. We've seen Landon Scott struggle these past couple of games. Saw the batting average drop significantly, was sitting at about 333 and is batting 265 now, but a pair of base knocks already in this game. Here's Harrison Corey, his first time up, had a base hit to start things off in the third inning, which was an absolute laser in the left field. Runner on first for him with 2 away in the inning. He'll leave the 1-0 off the plate. It's 2-0. Check on Scott over there at first. Tua will find the zone. Good pitch there by Robertson to find the outside part of the plate. Pitcher's count to Corey. He'll leave that one low. It is 3 balls and 1 strike. I know we were shouting out Josh Rochester earlier in the broadcast, but I want to give him another shout out as it is a 3-1 count. As he taught me, it's called a keyhole pitch when there's a 3-1 count. 3-1 lifted straight out into center field. Joyner Haddock will range back and over to his left and record the out. Viking strand one here in the fourth. Rampant still up 2-1 as we head to the home half of the inning. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Rampants here in the home half of the fourth. We'll see how Connor Berry responds after giving up that solo home run in the last inning. First pitch to Robertson is inside. Robertson's at bat got cut short in the last inning after Joyner Haddock got caught on the pickoff back to first. 1-0 just low. We saw Berry rattle off 5 straight strikeouts between the first, second, and third innings. Ended the first with a strikeout looking on Haith Abel-Latifa, and then 3 straight in the second, and then a strikeout swinging on Luke Tyndall to start the third inning, followed up by a pop out and then the solo blast off the bat of Brady Hastings in the third. 2-1 will find the outside portion of the zone. Seemed like Robertson wanted to have a go at that pitch, but held off. It's now 2-2. 2-2, just outside. Good leave there by Josh Robertson. It's tough to find where that breaking pitch is going to locate when you're right on right or left on left, especially in a nerve-wracking 2-strike count. Count is full now. Here's the payoff. That one just upstairs. Robertson leaves it. Seemed like he was about to go, but left it for ball 4. So now the third baseman, Haith Al-Latifa, he ended the first inning with a strikeout looking. Batting cleanup today. First pitch, he'll wave at that one. That was something that was going for Berry in the first at-bat against him was the breaking ball. Seemed like Al-Latifa couldn't quite locate it. Had a couple of swings. 0-1 Another breaking pitch that finds the zone, and it's 0-2 very quick. Oh, 2 is chopped on the ground to Harrison Corey. He was about to throw over to second, but he'll make the throw over to Hayden Willoughby for the sure out. That was going to be a tough play to make if he tried to go for the double play.
Yeah.
That was a cross-body throw. He'd have to turn his hips.
Too risky.
So a runner in scoring position. Here's Suter Howard. 1 out in the inning now. Howard struck out swinging his first time up. That started off the second inning where Connor Berry would strike out the side. He's got a good RBI opportunity in this spot. First pitch to him is in the dirt. I'll leave the next one off the plate again. It's 2-0. Well, Isaac, something that Josh and I talk about a lot is the importance of a first pitch strike in an at-bat. We saw him really do that in the second inning, but hasn't really shown that much here so far in this one. That one will find the zone, however. Once you start getting into the 2-0 counts, it feels like it's tough sometimes to get out of that hole. Two one, just low. Went right across the plate, but just below his knees. And so it's now 3 balls and 1 strike. I'll be curious to see which pitch Connor Berry goes with here. He's located the breaking ball well in this game up to this point. He'll go fastball at the knees for a strike. The count is now full. A strikeout here would be a big time momentum pickup for Connor Berry out there on the mound. 3-2. Just outside of the zone. Wow, that was a close call there. Seemed like maybe just a little bit low, but a really good breaking ball there from Connor Berry. But now runners on first and second with that 1 out walk. So now we will see the first meeting from head coach Jason Mills with Connor Berry as Gavin Whitley takes a stroll down to the bullpen for the Vikings. We'll be back in just a moment right here on DHC Game Day. Now visit is over between head coach Jason Mills and Connor Berry, as well as the infield. And now maybe another surge of momentum going in favor for the Rampants here in the 4th inning. Runners on first and second with 1 out. That one check swing foul over towards the Conley dugout. Josh Robertson on second base. Suter Howard on first. Corbin Kendrick at the dish. He struck out swinging in the second. He'll wave at that one. There goes the runner down to third. What a throw by Colton Newbern, just in the dirt. And Landon Scott couldn't quite pick that one. So now runners in both in scoring position on second and third. 0-2 is the count, says our home plate umpire. This would be a big strikeout for Barry if he were to get it here. Corner's playing in just a hair. Will it be creeping in towards the grass? So is Landon Scott. That one's grounded to Rook Niddle at shortstop. The run will score on the ground out. There it is again. Even though an out is recorded on the play, a run comes across to score, and another rampant hitter does his job. This team really likes to play station to station, proving it already twice in this game. First pitch to Leith Ablatif is off the plate. Seems like they're calling a balk, and yes, they will. And a balk on Connor Berry, and Suter Howard will come to score. A costly mistake, as it is now 4-1, and head coach Jason Mills is coming out to have a very heated discussion with the umpires. A very interesting series of events that just unfolded. I was over here trying to fix something on our screen with the scoreboard. I did not have my attention turned to what was going on, but a balk on Connor Berry, which scores the runner. It is 4-1 Rampants. I promise we will update the score as soon as we get the internet connection back stable again.
Coach Mills is not happy.
No, he is not. I didn't get a good look on if it was a balk or not. I'm not totally sure. Regardless, Jason Mills is heated at the moment. Both of the umpires are having a chat right now. We'll see what the ruling will be. Well, we've seen a couple of fluky runs so far in this game, Isaac. Of course, the
Yeah.
solo shot off the bat of Brady Hastings is not a fluky run to
No.
have at all, but of course, two of the runs scored up to this point for JH Rose have come off of ground ball outs. One of them being a double play, the other one just a regular old ground out in this inning. And then, of course, a fourth run being given up courtesy of a balk right there, something that you don't see a whole lot, especially at the high school level.
Yes. Costly runs you cannot afford to give up.
So 1-0 is the count. Leith Ablatifa still at the plate. That one's up and away, 2 balls and no strikes. I'd imagine this will probably end up being Connor Berry's last inning on the mound in this one. 2-0 in the dirt, 3 balls and no strikes. It only took one mound visit from head coach Jason Mills where they felt like they needed to run someone down to the bullpen, and Gavin Whitley is already throwing. Seems like he's already ramped up to his higher velocity at the moment from the looks of it. 3-1 is low for ball 4. Still just one out in the inning, and there is another base runner for the Rampants. Three walks already in the inning for Barry. That's something that we've talked about all season is giving up the free passes. Just cannot have that. We will see a pinch runner for the Rampants. Kendry Ramirez will go run for Ablatifa. Here's Luke Tyndall, started off the third inning with a strikeout swinging. He's got a runner on first with one away. He'll chop that one foul down the third base line. 0-1, just low. What a take there by Luke Tyndall. That right on right breaking ball has worked pretty well so far for Connor Berry. Didn't get that one to fall. 1-1 grounded. That's going to be a tough play for Landon Scott at third. He makes the throw over just in time. Oh no, he's safe. That play was very close, but from my angle, it seemed like the throw had just barely beat out Luke Tyndall. What an effort from him to get up the line. Of course, the high bounce chopper was a very tough play to make by Landon Scott. We are having a big time discussion with the Conley dugout and one of our field umpires. Jason Mills was already not happy going into that at bat, and I'm sure that he is even more frustrated and upset. So rule it as an infield hit for Luke Tyndall. There's runners on first and second. Still just one out in the inning. Here's Parker Simo, who popped out his first time up. First pitch to him is inside. This just has to be a moment where you find the zone, throw strikes. This is the 9-hole batter. Just have to forget what has gone on in this game up to this point. Just got to go out there and throw the ball and throw strikes. 1-0 is inside again. 2-0 is grounded. That one's going to go just foul down the first base line. That's another thing, too. We've seen a couple of slow rollers where the Rampants have been able to take advantage of that, get some base runners, also some high bounces at that. Of course, that base hit right there, that was grounded to Landon Scott. That was a high bounce play. And of course, in the first inning, the high bounce single by Joyner Haddock over the head of Hayden Willoughby. 2-1. He'll swing at that one and miss. We'll see if that swing and miss gives Connor Berry a little bit of a confidence boost. 2 runners on with 1 away. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Inside, and the count runs full. This is a very, very dangerous situation for Connor Berry. There is a base for Parker Simo to go on if there was a walk here, but the lineup flips over, and the man on deck is the one that hit the home run back in the third inning. Payoff lifted back and out of play. Kevin Whitley still warming up down there in the Conley pen. We'll expect to see him in the fifth. Here's another payoff. That one's lifted straight back up the middle. That one's going to hang up just in enough time to Hunter Layton. for the out. And that's actually out number 3. I believe the board might have been wrong. That was out number 3 regardless. So a couple of runs for the Rampants in the home half of the 4th. The score is now 4-1 as we head to the 5th. Well, if the Vikings get jump started with their offense, now would be the time to do it. The lineup has turned over a fresh start possibly for the Vikings. 4-1 is the score. Rick Niddle at the plate. He'll foul that one off to the left side out of play.
That may have hit a car, actually.
Did it? I
I
don't
think it did.
think so.
It went right past the white truck.
So a quick 0-1 count to Rick Niddle, who is blown out twice in this game, 0 for 2. He'll leave that one inside and in the dirt. Of course, as I've said multiple times in this broadcast, in the last meeting, saw a little bit of a sluggish start from the Conley offense. Of course, the 2-run blast by Ethan Stewart. That one's lifted in the air to left field. Parker Simo will hang up right where he is for out number 1, but even with those 2 runs, not much doing in the second or third inning, but then the big time 4th inning as we started to make our way through the second and third way through the lineup. So 3 straight flyouts for Rook Niddle. He's 0 for 3. Here's Brody Brennan, who is 0 for 1. A ground out to first base and the hit by pitch. Swing at the first one and foul it back. And you just hope that maybe these Viking hitters aren't starting to get into desperation mode, even though there's this inning and 2 more innings left to play. They are down by 3 runs. 0-1 just outside and maybe a little low. One. He'll leave that one off the plate. We'll see if there's any check down on the check swing. They will not appeal. Either way, I do not think that Brody Brennan went around. 2-1 is the count, and on deck is Ethan Stewart, which I'm sure that he would love to have another opportunity at the plate to maybe hit the ball a long ways. Big
Oh,
time swing and miss there by Brody Brennan. That was a home run hack. Big time pitch coming up. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count to Brody Brennan. He'll ground that one to Hastings at shortstop. The throw is made in time for out number 2.
two quick ones, just like that.
Here's Ethan Stewart. 0 for 2 so far today. A line out to shortstop, which was a soft liner, and then a strikeout looking on what he believed was a ball, but was a strike. A one inside. That one's going to catch
Oh,
the zone for a strike. A quick 0-2 hole for Ethan Stewart. Josh Robertson is on cruise control in this inning. 0-2. That one's lined softly again out to Brady Hastings at shortstop, and so only one run given up through 5 innings for Josh Robertson on the mound. 4-1 is still the score as we head to the home half of the fifth. Welcome back, home half of the fifth. We'll see the first pitching change of the evening between both squads as Gavin Whitley gets Brady Hastings to swing and miss at that one. 4 innings, 4 hits, and 4 runs for Connor Berry, 4 walks as well, and 5 strikeouts, all of them back to back to back to back to back.
two quick ones there.
2 quick strikes for Gavin Whitley, working pretty fast. Get him swinging
Wow.
for out number 1.
Well, that's the start you're looking for right there. 3 up, 3 strikes.
The momentum is heavily in favor of JH Rose. Up 3 runs here in the fifth. Gavin Whitley trying to maybe shift a little bit of momentum the Vikings' way. They'll wave at that one. Joyner Haddock will. Haddock 1 for 1 today. A single in the first inning. A walk in the third where he was picked off at first base. He'll wave at
Wow.
that one, and it's a quick 0-2. Gavin Whitley working very fast. He's already set and ready to go. 0-2 count for Brady Hastings, which ended in a strikeout. And the same for
Wow.
Joyner Haddock. Wow. Gavin Whitley on to a hot start out of the pen. Wow.
6 straight strikes.
I'm not I'm not going to get the announcer's jinx going, but there is something at stake here with this batter. There's another strike. Wow. I cannot believe how fast Gavin Whitley is getting set out there on the mound. He's giving the Rose batters no time to think.
Wow.
And he just keeps firing in strikes. I can't believe this. It's already 0-2 on Josh Robertson. Two-way in the inning. Here's the 0-2. Got him swinging.
Wow.
An immaculate inning for Gavin Whitley. What an inning out of the pen for Gavin Whitley. My word, 3 straight strikeouts. Fast work on the mound. The Vikes still trail 4-1. We'll head to the 6th. Here we go, 6th inning about to get underway from Guy
Hmm.
Smith Stadium. Cole Martin and Isaac Congleton on the call with you this fine evening. Rampants up 4-1 over the Vikings. Hey, if you are out there looking for more DHC content, anything Conley Athletics related, head on over to our Instagram at DHC Game Day. That is at lowercase DHC dot game day on Instagram. Go check out some of our content. We've got interviews, videos, hype videos, that is, photos, all the content, box scores, home runs, you name it, we've got it up there. Head on over to Instagram. We've got a lot of content over there. Of course, right here on YouTube is where we do all of our live streaming for the games. Have plenty more live streams planned out for the month of May, where I'm hopeful there will be a lot more live streams as we head into the playoff season for both softball and baseball. Of course, both of them will end up being the number one seed in their respective sport in the 7A East bracket. It's always so much fun to get to commentate for two squads that are the number one team in the state. Of course, softball is, it depends on the ranking that you look at. They're either one or two. Oh man. And it seems like Josh Robertson is having a cramp. They brought out a whole mustard bottle for him to drink from. Reminds me of soccer season, don't you think,
Yeah.
Isaac?
Cole Martin struggled with that.
No, 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 no. See, I only cramped once, I believe. But
I'm messing.
shout out to my mom real fast. She got me a whole bag of mustard packets for my birthday
Oh
to have
yeah.
for the team whenever someone cramped up.
Cole Martin was the mustard guy.
I had to play
He
the role
supplied
of athletic trainer sometimes for us, especially on the road. Our guy Andrew just cramped up too much, I guess.
it. Yeah.
Seems like the cramps are over with for Josh Robertson. He'll throw a couple more from the mound, warming up wise.
At least he didn't get the cramps during the inning.
That's true. That's very true.
So he got him out. Hopefully they won't come back.
6 outs left to work with for the Vikings offense. Colton Newbern at the plate. He'll
Ooh.
wave at that one. Big time swing. Colton Newbern, definitely a guy that is due for a base knock. 0 for 1 in this game. Went 0 for 4 on Tuesday versus Jacksonville. He'll leave that one for a strike. It's a quick 0-2 count. Well, Josh Robertson had a little bit of a rough outing the first time against Conley, but a really solid 5 innings plus so far in this outing. 0-2 is
Uh-oh.
rushed out into right field. That one's carrying, and it is out of here.
Just like that.
A solo home run off the bat of Colton Newbern. Make it his 6th of the year, his 24th RBI of the season, and he cuts the Rampants deficit down to 2 runs. That is the spark you need if you are DH Conley. Down by 3 runs. The momentum is definitely in favor of JH Rose, and an 0-2 hole like that, I did not expect to see that. Of course, the home run going backside there for Colton Newbern. Just put a charge into that one. So Hayden Willoughby at the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking in. The hit by pitch, that strikeout looking came with the bases loaded. It's 1-1 to him. No outs in the inning. We'll see if maybe the Vikings offense can follow up after that home run off the bat of Colton Newbern. Big time swing there. That one at the letters. Forces a chase there by Hayden Willoughby. It's 1-2. 1-2, got him
Uh,
swinging, breaking ball off the plate. Josh Robertson has a couple of words for the Conley dugout after the strikeout. Hunter Layton at the dish. The senior 0 for 1 tonight. A hit by pitch and a ground out. He'll leave the first one at the knees for a strike. And one is off the plate. Saw a good response there from Josh Robertson with the strikeout swinging on Hayden Willoughby after giving up the solo shot to right field off the bat of Colton Newbern. And it is 1-2 to Hunter Layton gets the call on the inside corner. 1-2. That one's grounded straight back up the middle. Hastings has it and makes the throw over in time to record the out.
looked like his foot almost came off the bag, but he was able to hang on.
I did not notice that, so thank you for picking up on that one, Isaac. Hunter Layton just slightly behind on that pitch. If he was just a little bit more on time, that would have been a base hit back up the middle. But instead, it's a ground out to shortstop. Brian Edwards at the plate, 0 for 2 so far in this one. 1-0 will skip in the dirt, 2-0. Landon Scott waits on deck. He's 2 for 2 in this game with 2 singles, one of them an RBI base knock. We'll see if Ryan Edwards can get on base for him. 2-0. Located on the outside part of the plate for a strike. 2-1 inside, 3-1. Well, even though we are approaching 8:30 from the ballpark, the energy just seems to keep getting more and more ramped up. Anticipation is building. Here's the 3-1. That one outside and a little maybe just slightly high as well for ball 4. So a 2-out base runner for the Vikings with that walk from Ryan Edwards. Now here is Landon Scott. We'll see. And yes, it seems like Josh Robertson's day will be done on the mound. Here comes head coach RV for the Rampants. I don't see anyone moving. I don't know who's going to come replace him. But Ronald Vincent will take the slow stroll out to the mound. We will see a pitching change for the Rampants. We'll tell you about it in just a moment right here on DHC Game Day. Well, a pitching change has been made for the Rampants. Josh Robertson's day is done. 6 2/3, 4 hits given up, 2 runs, one of them being a solo home run, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. And in is the lefty Parker Simo to face the lefty at the dish. A very smart move by the Rampants to go ahead and bring him in left on left. 2 outs in the inning. Ryan Edwards at first. Breaking ball will be off the plate for ball one. He'll wave at that one. 1-2 is the count. Well, if Ryan Edwards was to go on a pitch, that last one was the one to go on. But now 1-2 is the count to Landon Scott. Got him looking on the outside part of the plate for a strike three. What an effort by Parker Simo to get out of the inning to strand the runner. The Vikes put up one. It's 4-2 as we head to the home half of the sixth. All right, home half of the sixth. Gavin Whitley back out there on the mound. Saw him throw that immaculate inning in the fifth inning, where he was working very, very fast. Didn't give the Rampants hitters much time to think at the plate. When one lifted straight up in the air, that's going to go in foul ground. That might stay in play. No, it'll go
Nope.
out of play. No, it
Oh,
will stay in play.
just
It
drops it.
seemed like the way that Colton Newbern was looking at it, it was going to go out of play. Made a dive effort for it. Couldn't quite make the grab. Either way, it is still a strike, and the count moves to 1-2. One ball and two strikes to Avalatifa. Got him
Got
swinging.
him.
That pitch was up and out of the zone, but the movement forced a swing there on Avalatifa for the strikeout. Well, coming out of the pin, how about Gavin Whitley? 4 batters faced and 4 strikeouts. 3 of them swinging, 1 of them looking. Shooter Howard at the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging and a walk. 1-0 is off the plate, ball 2. Two 0 is lifted straight up in the air. That one's going to definitely be in play this time. Brooke Niddle will range over to his left, call everyone off, and record the out. Well, at this point, Isaac, I think we should go ahead and address the most recent comment here. Cab Kids, which I believe is Samari Cabell.
Oh yes.
Are you really tough at Baseball 9, Isaac?
Um, I used to be. Uh, I guess those days are over, sadly, but I know I can always re-download it, I guess. But
uh,
thanks, Samari.
Isaac Congleton, the Baseball 9 demon, and Whitley is already up 0-2 on Corbin Kendrick. 2 away in the inning. 0-2 is the count. That one is
Uh-oh.
lifted out in the center field. That one's got some ride to it. Layton is ranging back into his right and makes the catch for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Gavin Whitley. He's had an incredible outing out of the pen. Hasn't given up a base runner. Has 4 strikeouts for those 2 innings. But the last call for the Vikings offense here as we go to the 7th from Guy Smith. All right, here we go. The final inning of regulation from Guy Smith Stadium. If you're just tuning in now, you picked a really good time to tune in as it is the top of the 7th. The Vikes are down by a pair of runs, the last chance for them, and they have 9-1-2 due up. And Their 9-hole batter is also very lethal. It's a left on right matchup. He's already up 1-0 in this at bat. 1-0 will find the zone for a strike. Swung on and missed. That pitch was up high, but a swing and a miss there from Harrison Corey. He's down 1-2. The lineup will turn over after him. The Vikes would love for him to get on base. That one is lifted out into left field. Just gets over the outstretched glove of Brady Hastings for a base knock to start off the inning. Clutch piece of hitting there with 2 strikes. And that was on a line and just floated it over the head of Brady Hastings at shortstop. So the lineup turns over to Rook Niddle. He is 0 for 3 so far today with 3 flyouts. And that one's going to hit him. Hit him at the top of the back. And it seemed like he had a couple of words for Laith Ablatifa behind the plate. Nevertheless, he will take first base, and we will see a mound meeting with Parker Simo as the righty comes up to the plate. That's Brody Brannon. A pair of runners on base. Will take a quick pause right here on DHC Game Day. Man, rivalry game, 7th inning, the last inning of the ball game, for regulation purposes. The Vikings are down by a pair, looking to keep their perfect conference record up. What a spot here for Brody Brannon. Runners on first and second with no outs. He'll swing at that one, lift that one out of play. I'm sure the adrenaline is coursing through Brody Brannon in this moment. This is a big time spot. Harrison Corey at second base, Rook Niddle at first, a base hit from Corey, and then hit by pitch on Rook Niddle. Big time swing and miss, 0-2 now. That was something that I was a little worried about headed into this at-bat, was what was Brody Brannon's approach going to be? He can be aggressive, very aggressive at times, and has been aggressive so far in this at-bat. 0-2. Got him swinging.
Wow.
Pitch low and away, warranted the chase for out number 1.
Huge.
And here is Ethan Stewart.
They can't intentionally walk him this time.
They would definitely not want to intentionally walk him here, as that would load the bases for Colton Newbern. He is 0 for 3 in this game. He will leave that one off the plate for ball 1. You want to talk about a guy that's due in this game, Ethan Stewart is definitely due. A strikeout looking in, 2 lineouts to shortstop. 1-0 is inside. That's going to hit him.
Hit him.
Got him right on the elbow. Oh, man, and Ethan Stewart is down on the ground on the turf in pain. That one has got to hurt. Got him flush right there on the arm. And that is not something you want to see with one of your star hitters.
Mm-mm.
Did you get a good look at maybe where that might have hit him?
I think he got his elbow.
I
Yeah.
believe it was the elbow. I mean, of course, he does have an elbow guard on. Seems like they'll have maybe someone come check on him. I'm not seeing anyone that's a trainer out here in the current moment. There is a coach for JH Rose over there to look at him, as well as Coach Mills and Coach Spencer for Conley. Here comes Coach Mack. She'll come take a look at him. And Ethan Stewart is on his feet. That one definitely did not feel good whatsoever. I can guarantee you that. And he will go on down to first base and run. Wow,
Some grit.
that is some grit, some tough play there for Ethan Stewart. Bases are now loaded for Colton Newbern. What a spot this can be. Just one out in the inning. Vikes down by a pair. He'll leave that one low for ball one.
Mm, the crowd didn't like that one.
Colton Newbern is 1 for 2 so far today. A strikeout looking in the second, an intentional walk in the third, and then a solo blast to right field. And he will cut on that one. That's grounded to Hastings at short. He'll make the throw over to, I'm not sure who that is out there at second base, but that records the second out of the inning. The run does score. It is 4-3 now in favor of the Rampants. Jacob Stilley will run the bases for Colton Newbern. And man, my heartbeat is through the roof right now, Isaac.
Man,
I cannot believe the ending that we have come down to in this ball game. It all comes down to the bat of Hayden Willoughby. He'll cut on that one. That's lifted out in the right field. The catch is made by Luke Tyndall out in right field for out number 3, and the Rampants win. Wow, what a play. What a play by Luke Tyndall out in right field to record the third out of the inning. The Vikings had runners on the corners. Wow. It seemed like a sure base hit from Hayden Willoughby, but hung up just enough as that, if that had fallen, that would have tied the game and put another runner in scoring position. But nonetheless, that is out number 3, and the game is over. 4-3 is the final score. Rampants take the last game of the season. They split the series with the Vikes 1-1. Do not go anywhere. Right here on DHC Game Day, we will have a live post-game read of the box score, post-game analysis, whatever you want to call it. We will all have it here on DHC Game Day. Do not go anywhere. We will take a quick pause. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, guys, man, what an inning to that ball game. I cannot believe how that game finished up. 4-3 is the final score here from Guy Smith Stadium. Rampants take the last game of the season.
Yeah,
If I believe if South Central wins tomorrow, they will take second place. JH Rose will get third in the conference. But with the win tonight, that definitely puts them in prime position to finish second. Regardless of the loss, the Vikes are still conference champs, which is the
that's
good
right.
news
Yeah,
headed into the playoffs. They finished 9-1 in conference play, and 21-2 is their final record. Isaac, your final thoughts on the game tonight?
I mean, came down to the wire. Uh, you love a rival game like this, but it sucks when your team doesn't come out on top. But it's still a good game to watch.
It was an incredible game to watch. Absolutely. I'll highlight a couple of guys here. Connor Berry started the game, went 4 innings, gave up a couple of runs, a couple of fluky runs, I will say. Uh, Plays where there were ground outs and a run would come home to score for the Rampants. And so also a balk by Connor Berry, which
Yeah,
forced in a run where, man, you've got to think, what if that was the ultimate decider? Is if that
it's
balk
true.
was not given up, the game would be tied at this moment at 3 apiece.
Yeah,
But how about on the offensive side? Colton Newbern finally got back in the hit column today. A big time
that's
solo
right.
blast in the sixth inning, which went over the wall in right field for the opposite field shot. That's his sixth home run of the year. He's tied with Ethan Stewart. And I'm sure Ethan Stewart wish he had another go at the
Hmm.
plate here tonight, as he did not record a hit and got hit right on the elbow in
Yeah,
that last at bat of his in the seventh inning. And man, you got to feel for him as well as Hayden Willoughby, who absolutely had a rope in right field there in the seventh. But what a catch by Luke Tyndall
yeah.
to record the third out and end the ball game for the Rampants and give them the dub. So, guys, with that, the final score is 4-3. I'll give you a last look at the line here: 4-3 on runs, 5 hits for Conley, 4 hits for Rose, no errors between both sides. So, a very clean game, I will say. But here is the real killer: two left on base for Rose and 9 runners left on base for
Yeah,
Conley. I say this almost every game: runners on base and walks are the key, and especially when it comes to the Vikings and their pitching staff, they can be so good if they would just not give up so many walks.
it's true.
Same with the offense. This offense is so talented. They have so many phenomenal hitters, but they strand so many runners at
Yeah.
that. Of course, the big one came in the third inning with the bases loaded, the intentional walk on
Hmm.
Colton Newbern loaded the bases, and then a strikeout looking from Hayden Willoughby. A tough call there, which ended that inning and stranded all 3 runners. But 9-2 is that on the left on base numbers. So, with that being said, I am Cole Martin. Thank you for joining me tonight, Isaac.
Yes.
And thank you all for tuning in for
Thank
such
you.
a phenomenal regular season. Even though, despite the loss tonight, I had an absolute blaster in the regular season. And man, we have so much more left to get to this season as we still have playoffs. The Vikes are
That's
the
right.
#1 team in the East in 7A for both baseball and softball. So stay tuned for a playoff schedule, broadcast schedule from us, as we will be live, hopefully, for every playoff game. We will see how it goes. We'll have to take a look at the schedule, but we will let you guys know about that coming up in the next few weeks. Of course, both teams will have a first round bye with the 1 seed. So thank you all for tuning in. Of course, this is a great way to end the season. Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank
That
you.
being said, go Vikes and God bless.